Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Steak and Potatoes podcast.
There we are.
It's a bit of a lean meal today, but that's fine. Yeah. So, I started watching Rings of Power, finally.
Oh, did you?
I like it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
How many's have you watched?
We just got to the episode where Galadriel and Sailor Guy are attempting to leave Numenor. So I think episode 4?
I would probably around 4 or 5.
Yeah, and Arondil, I think it's Arondir is his name, the dark-skinned elf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just escaped from the orc slave camp and is trying to make his way back to the village where like all the tunnels and shit are happening.
Yeah.
And he just got taken before Adar. So, something was bugging me about that show, and it took some digging, but I figured out what it was, and I don't think people are necessarily correct to complain about a dark-skinned elf. I think I actually found the in-universe explanation for it. I had to dig through the friggin' Silmarillion to find it, but I found it.
Is it some sort of just off complexion type of deal?
Not
like
really.
albinism, but the opposite?
No, it's way back in the day when the elves all collectively fucked off to Valinor across the sea. Some of the elves stayed behind in Middle-earth and became what's known as the... I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, I think. Actually, I better...
The Gorbs.
No, It starts with an M. I looked it up, and now that I'm talking about it, I fucking forgot. Come on, phone, cooperate with me here. No, I just remembered. It's pronounced either Morikindi or Moriquindi, which roughly translates into the tongues of men as elves of darkness. And granted, there is no, like, it doesn't specify whether it's talking about skin color or, like, a philosophical view.
I think it generally... weren't they elves that were kind of on the other side? Generally.
Kind of, like, they were just elves who just didn't, for whatever reason, just didn't want to go back to Valinor.
Oh,
so they stayed behind, and like I said, it doesn't specify if it's talking about skin color, but something Arondir said in the show when his commanding officer asked where, like, he was born or something, and he mentioned a place in Middle-earth. And I don't remember if he said he was born there or if he just grew up, but yeah, it would make sense that if he was born and raised in Middle-earth, he would have been descended from the Morikindi.
Well, yeah, and they even, I think we've spoken of this, but the elves in Mirkwood were supposed to have darker skin and stuff, and Legolas obviously doesn't in the movies, but he should have been. However, Orlando Bloom played him wonderfully.
Yes, he did.
But, I mean, so maybe that's an explanation that could, in a roundabout way, make sense. I'm pretty sure Tolkien was kind of racist.
I mean...
So I doubt he wrote in... You can use it as an excuse, I guess. And either way, it doesn't matter because the character is cool.
Yeah.
And who the fuck cares? Like, yeah, sure. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
It makes more sense than the Dwarf Queen. We can say that much, at least.
yeah, because she makes no sense.
Which, I mean, granted, I fucking love the Dwarf Queen. She's great character.
She's great. It's just like, first off, you should have a beard.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing. It's not like it full on annoys me and I'm pissed about it, but it's like, come on, you're gonna go with you're gonna make her black and that's completely fine. But so you're gonna lean into that, but then you're not gonna go all the way and give her a beard.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they leaned into black and then gave her a beard, people would be mad about that. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel
Either way, the show's good.
Yeah.
Everything with Dwarf Boy and Elf Boy.
Yeah, Durin and Elrond.
Yeah, is that's the best bits of the show is Durin and Elrond.
Also, something that bothered the hell out of me was like when they're talking to dark-skinned elf about his attachment to human woman, and they're like, elves and men don't crossbreed. It only happened once, and it was disastrous. And then Elrond, whose name is literally Elrond Half-Elven, had a human father, and he turned out fucking fine.
No, they didn't say it happened once. They say it happened a couple times, and they almost always end a disaster.
Oh, okay.
They did say it's happened a couple times, and it pretty much always is fucked.
Yeah.
And Elrond is probably the one exception.
Yeah.
Because his father was is a god now.
Yeah.
So.
He ascended. Which that was my favorite scene so far, when he was talking to Durin, and Durin was being all pissed off at his dad, the Dwarf King. And Elrond's like, here's what all happened to my dad, and you shouldn't take yours for granted, because there's nothing I wouldn't do to just have one more conversation with my dad to find out if he was proud of me or if he just hates everything that I did. Yeah. Like that was a beautiful little speech he gave.
What would happen? Has an elf ever had a kid with a dwarf?
I don't know.
That you know of?
Not that I know of.
I don't think they ever have. I don't think an elf would fuck a dwarf.
I mean,
Elrond might take Durin's dick, but otherwise, because Elrond's a cute little twink, and also the actor who plays Elrond. This has nothing to do with the gay shit I was just talking about.
Yeah.
But the actor who played Elrond also played young Eddard Stark.
Yep.
Yeah, in that flashback where they fought the Sword of the Morning.
Yep.
Arthur Dane.
Yeah, who is now James Sunderland in Silent Hill 2.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Indeed. Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't really see why an elf wouldn't be willing to fuck a dwarf if they're also just willing to fuck humans.
Because they're too stuck up.
Yeah,
they're way too stuck up. They think of, they generally think of dwarfs like rodents. Like moles. People are like one thing. I feel like elves are white people in the 1800s. Humans are the black people slaves. And then the dwarves are the pigs. So if an elf ends up fucking a dwarf, it's probably an elf that's got something wrong with it.
I mean, granted, I did just
Kind
hear...
of a mentally challenged elf.
Well, I mean, I did just hear a story about how humans were willing to fuck a baboon, or no, an orangutan. Like, multiple human men paid extra to fuck an orangutan prostitute. So,
Do you know where it was?
somewhere in South America? Wait, I mean, it
Because
sounds stupid, but the story's actually really fucking sad.
well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, it was humans trained and shaved an orangutan to be a prostitute.
I feel like I've heard of that. Are you sure that's not a myth?
No, that's a real fucking
It's a real
thing with
thing?
actual
Okay.
documented accounts.
There's what's horrible, and I've seen videos of this, is, and so I'm not saying it's like this everywhere and not all of them or whatever, but white women in India, if you're an even moderately attractive white woman in India, you will just be mobbed by the men. And it's actually horrific. Like,
Yeah.
the videos I've seen of this, and not video, because if it was one video, I'd be like, okay, that was just a weird thing,
Yeah.
mob mentality that happened. But it happens all the fucking time, where they just go fucking nuts, and, like, if I was a white woman, I wouldn't go there. If I was a blob of a white woman, well, no, they might want pictures of that too. If I was just an old white woman, then I'd go there. It's definitely India. I wouldn't care to go to India either way.
I mean, I wouldn't I don't want to sound racist or nothing, but I wouldn't really. I don't feel the need to cross the sea in any form whatsoever, really, except maybe to Japan, so I could make a pilgrimage to the big Gundam statue. But then I would just like turn around and leave.
there's plenty I would like to do across the ocean. There's plenty I'd like to see, but like. Sure, if it was like, here's a free trip to India and you'll get to go see the, what is it called? Is it called the Abu Dhabi or
Taj Mahal?
God, no. Yeah, I'm just being racist. Probably. I'm probably just being racist. And what is the Abu Dhabi?
You're not thinking of Abu Dhabi, are you?
No. What I'm saying is definitely a real thing. But I was thinking of the Taj Mahal.
Okay.
Like, it would definitely be cool to go and see that and to do some hikes and stuff. Like, yeah, if I got, like, free tickets, I would go. But never in my life would I be like, I have extra money and I want to travel. I'm going to India. Like, no way in hell would that be a place, like... unless I became a bagillionaire and money meant nothing to me, so I could just go everywhere, then yeah, I'd probably go to India. But otherwise, fuck India. Place fucking sucks. All the documentaries I've seen of it, like the food shows and stuff where they go there and it's like, look at this great food. Also, this is the biggest city here, and it's just shit in the streets, and it's like, yeah, why would I want to go there? It's like going to LA. Why would you want to go there? There's actual shit in the streets, and homeless people will try to stab you, because the one time I went there, those are things.
Yeah.
It's
Well, speaking of places you don't want to go to, I played the first couple of hours of the Callisto Protocol, the Dead Space clone made by the Dead Space guy.
oh,
It's
I mean,
really fucking good. People should not complain about it. Like, after I got it, I went on Reddit a little bit, and people were like, "Oh, it's just a Dead Space clone." It's like, yeah, it's a Dead Space game
the whole point.
made by the
Made
Dead
by
Space
the
guy. Is this not what you've been asking for years now? No, it's a really cool game, and honestly, I think it's come the closest to perfecting melee combat in a survival horror game.
No, that would be Silent Hill 2, and you have to use the pipe, and you have to play on hard mode, and then you have to hit just the little asses 75 times to make them die.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, it's come close to perfecting.
Okay,
It's not
yeah,
the
it's
perfect.
not-
I mean, come
it's
on,
not
man.
perfection.
What? There is nothing that's going to transcend Silent Hill 2's combat system.
Okay.
You can walk sideways and swing at the same time.
And you use that all the time.
Yeah,
as well,
you
you
literally-
constantly are using that.
You walk circles around the enemy.
You definitely never forget that's a thing that you can do.
Yeah.
You don't forget about that and then don't use it the whole game.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that happens. You
No.
remember it and use it.
Yeah,
the whole
if
time.
you're not walking in a circle and swinging at the same time, you're just not fucking playing the game right.
Yeah, I mean, really, you should just be walking in a circle the whole time.
Yeah,
But
That-
that's
that's
for
how
the normies out there.
yeah, the normies, not us hardcore gamers.
I hate this conversation.
Yeah. No, the melee combat
But,
in
yeah.
Callisto Protocol is
Good one.
fucking incredible, is what it is. It's fun. It's relatively like easy to pick up, hard to master, and it looks and feels just brutal as shit.
Nice.
And also, it rides the line perfectly of it doesn't make you an overpowered god for using melee combat.
Yeah, it's just
It's wonderful. It's kind of a weird combat system to figure out at first. Like when you go into melee combat against a pseudo necromorph, I still don't exactly know what they are, but I'm just gonna call them necromorphs because it's a Dead Space game.
aliens.
Well, they're not aliens, is the thing. It takes place in a prison, and they're people that have been mutated by something. I don't know what yet.
So they've become alien.
Sure. You are on a moon of Jupiter, so I guess that would technically make them aliens. But no, like when you're in combat, if you're like holding left or right and an enemy swings at you, you will automatically dodge out of the way of the attack, which on paper sounds a little broken, but the AI is smart enough that if you're like in combat and you're just holding right, eventually they'll figure out like, oh, this guy likes dodging right. So he will do an attack that you cannot dodge. And you also can't dodge grapple attacks, which the enemies will actually use to fuck with you. So, like, if you're in melee combat one-on-one, there's no reason to just use melee to kill the guy and save your ammo. But if you, like, come up on a horde, like, I was in a hallway before I came over here, and, like, there was a guy in front of me and 3 dudes behind him. I was, like, dodging and juking and smacking him about with the stun baton, which is your melee weapon. He straight up grabbed me and just threw me behind him into his friends. So instead of being in a hallway with them all in front of me, I was now in a hallway with, like, in a fucking crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal as shit. And you can, one of the things you can do is if you feel like using ammo, if you do a full combo string on an enemy, there's a chance like a little crosshair will pop up on them. And if you hit the aim and shoot button quickly enough, you'll pop off a shot that automatically hits that enemy's weak point. So it's just, God, the melee's awesome. Like, Dead Space originally used Resident Evil 4 as a reference for its gameplay. I wish there was still time in Resi 4's production for them to use the Callisto Protocol's melee system as a reference, but they're not going to because it comes out in like 3 months. But yeah, the melee combat's awesome. They also have stealth in the game, which is another thing Dead Space didn't really have, and I haven't used it all that much because I like running up to people and smacking them about with a stun baton too much. But yeah, the story seems pretty good. You play as a guy who's just, he runs a cargo ship and he was doing runs between Jupiter's moon and like somewhere else, and terrorists invaded his ship and caused it to crash, which one of the terrorists is Japanese girl from The Boys. So she's in the game. So you end up crash landing, the police on the prison moon come and find you, and at first they're like there to help you out, because they're like, oh man, you were just in a crash, like that sucks, like we'll help you out. But then they get a call and they, for some unknown reason, arrest your character too, which also you're arrested by fucking Deke from Days Gone. Which
what? Is he a small character in the game?
Deke? No. At least not that I know of.
In this game you're talking about.
Oh, in the Callisto
Jake,
Protocol?
What's his name? Jake?
Sam Witwer?
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
They kind of look similar. They do kind of look similar.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, is he a big character in the game?
He's been, like, we saw him die without actually seeing him die, so I'm 99% sure he's still kicking around somewhere.
Like, really quick into the game, or?
I was about an hour or so in when I came...
He's gotta be coming back.
Yeah, he has to be, but no.
There's no way they would pay to have him come on for
him to die.
And just die.
Yeah, like, because, while you're unconscious, everything goes to shit in the prison. Somehow the necromorphs start appearing and killing everyone. You wake up, escape from your prison cell, and you're trying to escape from the prison, and that route ends up taking you trying to sneak through, like, his command office. And you kind of trick him by letting some more of the necromorphs in, and they, like, tackle him out of a window, and that's the last I've seen of him. But I've also found 2 audio logs.
Tackled out of a window, so he ain't dead.
Yeah. No, he's an interesting character. Like, when he showed up to rescue you from the crash of the ship, he was actually, like, acting like a really fucking nice guy. He's like, hey, man, like, this sucks. I'm sorry you landed here of all places, but we'll take you to the prison and we'll get you, like, on the next flight up out of here. And then he gets the call to arrest your character, Jacob, and he instantly just flips into, like, sadistic asshole mode. And, like, your character's like, I don't understand what's happening. Why are you arresting me? I have nothing to do with that terrorist woman over there. She's the one who crashed my ship. Why are you locking me down? And then good old Deke is like, hey, so I know you're new here, but a rule we have is inmates don't speak unless spoken to, so shut your goddamn mouth. It's like, damn, Deke, what did I ever do to you? I played your game. Why are you treating me like this? Where's Booze Man? He needs to make me some shit. No, it's very Dead Spacey because it's made by the Dead Space guy.
Dead Space Man.
Yeah, Dead Space Man. And they got all the classic survival horror stuff, like the limited inventory, although it's nice because it's divided into, like, combat inventory and then like ancillary stuff like healing. I was about to say potions, but like potions, ammunition, other random bobs and bits you find around the place. It's a really fucking cool game. I hear it's pretty short, but they're also releasing DLC for it fairly soon, so they're gonna add like a new game plus mode, which I'm gonna have to do because I already want to platinum this game. It's a lot of freaking fun.
I've been not to gloss over it. It sounds great.
Oh, it is. It's
I never
fucking
played
awesome.
any of the Dead Spaces.
Really?
And I think I've told you this. I know I've told you this before. And Dead Space 1 is really the only one that entices me the most because I know that's the most survival horror-y.
Well, I mean, Dead Space
One
2 is also pretty survival horror-y.
But from what I hear, the first one is really just survival horror.
Yeah.
It's great. But in any case, I've just been playing. I've been playing the new Pokemon.
Yes.
Which is. I don't even want to talk about it that much. The thing is, it's good.
Yeah.
Like I like it. Every now and then, every like hour and a half, 2 hours, I save, close out of the game, make sure the game is completely off, and then turn off the switch, turn it back on, go back in. But I mean, really, there's no excuse for how the game looks or how it runs coming from a AAA studio, from the biggest selling franchise in the world. Why the hell does it look like this? Why aren't you trying to make it better? Why are you not? It's ridiculous. That being said, I'm having fun with it.
Good.
And I like it. There is a lot of like, where the fuck do I go? But I just looked up a guide on where I go.
Yeah.
Because I was just running around in these giant open fields like, oh, I'll go this way. And then I explore this way, and turns out I can't go anywhere that way because my guy doesn't have surf or anything yet. And it's like, oh, so that was just a waste of 30 minutes. So I just looked up a guide.
Yeah.
On Pokemon Red, which I've also still been playing, trying to complete the Pokedex, I just need Tauros. If I get Tauros, then I can go to Blue version and transfer them all over. But I've got 127 out of 150. I've done some trades already just for the... initially we did the trade, so I got her first starter, like a Squirtle or something. So I have that in my Pokedex. But, so I guess it would be, I think, 127 if just that you can catch in red. And then, but with doing the trades, get the trade evolutions.
Yeah.
So then I have to start playing blue, and that's gonna be a whole nother can of worms. The biggest thing there is, honestly, the worst thing I have left to do is catch this Tauros.
Yeah.
And then because in blue I can buy a pincer at the game corner, I can just buy a bunch of
Could
coins.
you reach into that bag and hand me a drink, please?
But at the game corner, I can just
Thank you.
buy a bunch of coins and then buy a pincer. And so I don't even have to fuck with the Safari Zone after I catch Tauros. And then, so I guess the worst thing after catching this Tauros will be playing to the point that I can get one Eevee and evolve it into... I think I did Jolteon in my red. So evolve it into a Flareon, and then restarting and getting back to that point to get
Yeah.
another one so that I can evolve it into a Vaporeon and then trade that over. But otherwise, I mean, and that's not even bad. It's just playing Pokemon. It's easy. It's, you know.
So, speaking of Pokemon, Indirectly, in the most indirect way possible. I've been playing through Yakuza 7 because that's one I never finished.
This does sound very
Oh,
indirect.
there's a crossover here. Trust me. So that game steals so much from every other genre of game, like to the point where the main character says he literally envisions his life as a Dragon Quest game to deal with stress, so it plays out as a turn-based combat game. But in Chapter 3, you meet this professor, and he gives you access to a database called the Sujimon database, or the Sujidex, if you will. And it's literally just a Pokédex for all the different random people you can fight in the game. And, like, because Sujimon is, like, a cut-down version of Suspicious Gentleman. So I've actually been running around doing the optional dungeon over and over again to make sure I have enough experience to do what I want to do, but also I'm filling out that Sujidex, damn it.
Good.
It's freaking ridiculous. I love Yakuza 7.
So other than that, no other video games. Dylan and I are about halfway through Wednesday on Netflix.
I heard it's good. I want to watch it with Dolly.
It's very good. It's weird though, because it's like, it kind of feels like, I don't know, some sort of teen show or something.
Yeah.
But then it'll show a guy with a just horrifically gruesome broken neck. And
Nice.
shit will get but it's very few and far between.
Yeah.
But then it'll just be like, oh, and here's like a man's arm getting ripped out. Like just random shit that's horribly gruesome, and it's like, this kind of doesn't fit the whole tone of the show, but I fucking love it. It's really, really good, and also so I got shit for this the other day because I was like, the girl who plays Wednesday is hot as shit, because she is. And somebody was like, she's like 14. And I looked it up, and I was like, no, she's 20. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, maybe they dress her down a little bit to make her look it. But, no, it doesn't matter. She's just that hot goth girl.
Yeah.
And she's hot as shit. So, fuck off.
Man, you want to talk about hot, though? Luis Guzman as Gomez.
Never has anybody been casted better.
I know, right?
Luis Guzman is and will forever be Gomez, just for now on.
Yeah.
That's who it should be. He's but yeah, only watched the first 4 episodes so far. There's 8, and it's very, very good so far.
Nice.
Last night I watched The Blob, 1988.
Classic.
Which, see, the thing is, I remember watching it when I was probably like 7 or 8, but I haven't watched it since. So I went back and watched it, and man, it's just fantastic. It's everything great about 80s horror movies. And it even throws like a curveball at you right at the beginning, because you think the cool jock kid is going to be the hero or something, and then he immediately dies, and the cheerleader girl, it might be one of the first instances I know of the cheerleader girl getting with the outcast kid.
Yeah.
But the whole movie's fantastic. And then at the end, so that movie, I think it has like a 6.5. It has something like that on IMDb. And I was like, why? This movie's fucking amazing. And then I'm sitting there scrolling through Prime, and Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors pops up. And look that up. That has like a 9.5. And so I watched that too, because I'm just sitting there trying to get a Toros, just running back and forth. So I'm watching a movie. And that movie is fantastic.
Yep.
Is it better than the Blob? No, not in my opinion at all. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. It's great 80s horror. It's 80s horror at its almost finest. But I don't understand like an almost 3-point disparity between the two.
Yeah.
It kind of makes no sense to me because I would only put Dream Warriors like a little bit below the Blob. Like if the Blob is a 9, Dream Warriors is an 8.5. Like they're both that good. So a whole 3 points? I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people. I don't know
feel like
why.
it might be maybe a cultural lens thing because like the Blob has been parodied to shit in so many different things
It has,
at this
yeah.
point. So I think a lot of people associate the parodies with the movie itself and probably rate it a little bit lower because of it because some of those parodies are fucking trash fires. Whereas like I can't really think of anything where like the concept of Freddy Krueger is like I know it's been parodied before, but not near Jesus. Not near as much as the Blob, though.
I think they'd be on equal footing. Freddy Krueger has plenty of parodies.
Well, I know Freddy Krueger himself has been parodied, but not like the premise of like his movies and stuff like that. Like
in that Rick and Morty episode.
I've
That
never
was
seen a
old.
Rick and Morty episode.
Oh, they have a whole episode. I forget what they call the Freddy character, but there's an entire episode where it's a guy. Does he have hot dog fingers? I don't remember what it is, but it's. I mean, Rick and Morty is good.
No,
But
I know. I just don't like looking at it.
I mean, I understand. I understand that. Like,
Yeah.
if you just don't like an animation style, then even if you might like the show, it's kind of like Bob's Burgers for me.
Yeah, that's another one I really
Where-
haven't watched because I'm not a fan of the animation.
I've watched a fair amount of it because I do like the stupid humor in it.
Yeah.
But I fucking absolutely hate how the characters are drawn and stuff. Like, but it does fit with the humor, so it makes sense. It's just, I don't know. I still just fucking hate no character. Nobody has a chin.
Yeah.
Like it's horrible. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
But it's no like. Rugrats
Yeah,
might
no,
be the worst thing
I
I've
do
ever
have a
seen.
visceral hatred for the Rugrats animation style.
Yeah, I don't understand why that show was ever popular. Because, like, okay, I get, like, maybe it was a bit well written,
Yeah.
but it looks horrible.
Yeah.
And I hate everything about it. Beavis and Butthead looks horrible. People say that some of those episodes are really funny and stuff, but every time I've watched it, it's like, it's just like, this is the lowest form of stoner humor.
Yeah.
Like, the absolute ground floor, just the basement of stoner humor. And maybe that's what's supposed to be funny about it, is that it's so bad it's funny.
Yeah.
But even watching it with that in mind, I'm just like, I fucking hate this. And also, I hate how everybody looks. I hate the whole animation. Like,
Yeah, it still boggles my mind a little bit that the same guy who did Beavis and Butthead did King of the Hill, which I fucking love King of the Hill.
Yeah, Mike Judge.
Yep.
He did Simpsons as well, didn't he?
No, that was
Simpsons?
no, that was Matt Groening.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm confusing. Because Matt Groening also did Futurama.
Yeah.
What else did Mike Judge do?
Let me Google it for you real quick.
I feel like there's another big one we're not remembering.
Let's see. Mike Judge. Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, The Good Family, Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
Yep, was involved in Office Space and Idiocracy. Nice.
Idiocracy is fantastic.
Yep.
Silicon Valley is also. Wait, Silicon Valley?
Yeah. Yep. Silicon Valley, 2014 to 2014 to 2019.
Wait, let me see the. Because I might be. Oh yeah, no. Silicon Valley is also amazing. It's on HBO. You'd really like it actually. It's about programmers.
Oh, he also did
Silicon
Daria. I fucking love Daria. Daria's a great show.
I never watched it. I never had an interest in it at all. It
It's
just looked so milquetoast. It was.
it's
I didn't hate it.
its humor is very understated and I don't want to say dark, but I'm trying to think of a better word for it. It's very
Nihilistic, maybe.
there is a bit of nihilism in there. Yeah, I honestly can't think the word I want is escaping me, and that bugs me. But it's very understated, I think. The jokes are there, but they're not really ever going to be laugh out loud funny jokes. They'll be jokes that you chuckle at and then you think about it, and the more you think about it, the funnier it gets.
I know the word that you're looking for now, but I also can't think of it.
Yeah.
It's
somewhere on
understated is the only thing I can think of.
Somewhere on one of my external hard drives that's buried in a box, I have all 5 seasons of Daria downloaded. It's a great fucking show.
Subdued.
That's it. Subdued. Thank you.
But okay, well that wasn't the one I was looking for.
It fits though. It definitely fits.
If it fits,
Yep.
I sit.
Exactly.
But yeah, I've been watched some of those old movies. Otherwise, didn't do much else this week. I was grinding for a Scyther forever,
Yeah.
and then finally gave up and just went and bought it, and then been grinding for a Tauros. We never talked about the new Black Panther.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, well, that's why we haven't talked
Yeah.
about it. I thought you'd seen it.
Nope.
I thought we were...
No, I'm waiting for it to come to Disney
Did
Plus.
we talk about the new Thor? I think it is on the...
Oh.
I think it is out now.
No, I haven't seen the new Thor either.
Oh. The new Thor is good. The only thing I'll say about the new Thor is I think they saw with Ragnarok that people liked Thor being silly.
Yeah.
And I feel like they leaned way too heavy into that with the new one. That being said, it was still funny and great, and there was still serious moments that were awesome. But
speaking of Thor, I also played through God of War Ragnarok this week. And honestly, I was mostly impressed by what they did with Thor in that game.
Did it Ragnarok your cock?
I wouldn't go so far as cock, but it did Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, because, one thing, Thor's played by Opie from Sons of Anarchy, which is just fantastic.
Good old Opie.
He fucking killed it in that role. But no, everything in God of War 2018, leading up to this game, all you ever heard about Thor was, just bad things. He's a fucking drunkard, he kills without thinking, he doesn't give a shit who he hurts, and all bad about Thor. But as you go through the game, Atreus, Kratos' son, eventually runs away and goes to Asgard at Odin's invitation, and you actually get to spend time around Thor and interacting with him, and you find out he's actually a much deeper character than you think. When you meet him, he's grumpy, understandably so. Kratos killed 2 of his kids and his brother, so he's a bit miffed about that. and is, dealing with it in a not great way. But when you switch over to Atreus and the Asgard chapters, like, you can eavesdrop on conversations around Asgard, and you hear that Thor is, like, he was just drinking, like, all the fucking time because he was basically depressed over his kids and his brother. But he's actually trying to, like, stop drinking and mend his relationship with his wife and daughter and actually, like, be a better husband and father to them. And you really just find out that not only is Thor heartbroken, but he's also hopeless, essentially, because in, like, Norse mythology, everything is, like, foretold all the way out to the fucking end, essentially, and everyone knows where they're going to end up when, Ragnarok comes and all that. And Thor is fated to die in battle against the big Sneck. So, like, not only are his kids and his brother dead, but Thor is one of those people who knows, air quotes, knows exactly where his story ends, and knows, again, air quotes, that there's just fucking nothing he can do about it at all. It's a really interesting characterization. And then you go and kill Heimdall, which actually does set off Ragnarok itself, and then Thor just completely fucking falls off the wagon and just goes into the fucking Viking longhouse and just getting sloshed. So Atreus and his daughter, Thrud, end up going and finding him, and Thrud is like, Dad, like, what the fuck? You were doing so good. You'd actually, like, you stopped drinking. You were getting along with Mom again. You were, like, actually spending time with me, and now here you are in a fucking drunken puddle. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And he's just like, I don't care. Nothing fucking matters at this point. Blah. And then at the very end of the game, I finally figured out what Thor's deal is from, like, a writing perspective. And Thor's essentially what Kratos would have been if Kratos had just never separated himself from the god. Like, at the end of his final boss fight, Odin shows up, and after Thor gets his ass kicked, Odin, his dad, just yells at him. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, Thor? Are you actually talking to Kratos? You don't talk, Thor. You don't think. You kill who I tell you to kill, and that is all you are good for. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Don't yell at your fucking son like that. That's terrible. Really good character. Just really fucking sad, actually. But all in all, though, great fucking game. Improved on God of War 2018 in basically every single way.
Oh, good.
Highly recommend it. It's probably going to get Game of the Year if Elden Ring doesn't.
I feel like Elden Ring will,
Probably.
but I don't know. It's two huge AAA titles.
Yeah.
So, but Elden Ring probably will.
Probably. Alright, so last thing, I wanted to get your help with something. So, I know that you could
What
not
I'm here
give
for.
two shits about Warhammer 40k.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, that's fine. I don't need you to like 40k.
But it's not that I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
just-
I'm not.
you're not
gonna
interested.
Delve into all that.
That's fine. We're not doing any real delving today, but I found this very, very amazing artist on the internet. His name is Miguel Iglesias, and I'm going to link his page in the descriptor of the video. So he did some really good artwork where he did portraits of all of the Warhammer 40k Primarchs, and if you don't know who they are, there was the Emperor of Mankind. He genetically engineered 20 sons to lead the legions of Space Marine, who are also based off their genetics. That's about it. That's all you need to know. The artwork is really good. I'm pretty sure he drew from reference and took some creative liberties with them, so I'm 99% certain that all these portraits are based off of people, like famous people. But the problem I ran into was it became one of those things where the harder you focus and the more you try to solve a problem, just the less fucking progress you make with it.
Sure.
So I kind of wanted to do this with the boys, but we're doing an early podcast tonight, so I've got you. So I want you to look at these artworks and
All
appreciate
you've got
them.
is me.
Yep. And I want you to just
Pathetic.
give me your first fucking reaction as to who you think these people look like. All right, let's get the display capture up. All right, and we is going to start with the Emperor.
I mean, Julius Caesar looking ass. Like, you know,
Yeah,
Greek looking boy.
yeah, with the headband thing. This,
Yeah.
this is one of the ones that, like, didn't really look like anyone in
It's-
particular to me, but
Wait. Okay, are you talking about actors? Because he kind of looks like the guy
actors,
who plays,
musicians, famous
He
people.
kind of looks like the
whatever.
guy who plays Don Draper in that cigarette show.
That might not be one I've seen.
I haven't seen it either, but I know the actor. Hold on. It's the one they do Lucky Stripes.
You're not talking the movie Thank You for Smoking, are you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, God damn it. I just need to look up the dude's name. Lucky Strike. Kind of looks like this guy. Doesn't he?
Oh, that's John Hamm, isn't it?
Yeah.
John Hamm?
Yeah.
I can kind of
Doesn't
see
he?
some. I can see some John Hamm in there.
Yeah.
Nice, good catch.
Otherwise, did you have someone?
No,
That
because
that is amazing artwork. by
Yeah,
the
it
way.
is.
Like the shading with the shadows and stuff. That's
Yep.
incredible.
yeah. All right, next one, Lion L. Johnson, Primarch of the Dark Angels. I kind of thought Sean Bean for a second on this one, but
quite.
not quite.
I feel like the eyes are
Yeah.
too far. There's something wrong with the eyes. They're too far apart or something like that.
I think it was mostly like the lower face with the beard that made me think Sean Bean.
Yeah, but then the right? Our right.
Yeah, so his left.
There's something about his bottom lip looks funky. I
Yeah,
don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I think that's down to shading because I watched like a speed draw video this guy did from one of the other one, and he used like very loose brushes. He didn't do like a whole lot of tight lines in it. So
Granted, I can't even write so good.
Yeah.
So that this is still fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It doesn't. He doesn't evoke any like actors or musicians or
Yeah.
anything to me. Does he to you?
not really. Like I said, my first reaction was Sean Bean, but then kind of like all the other ones, like the more I looked at it, the more I became less and less sure.
I mean, that's John Hamm.
Yeah.
This is the random.
I feel like he's someone I saw in like Game of Thrones or something, but that might just be down to like the style of the hair with like the kind of quasi royal headband thing he's got going on.
I can't think of anybody in Game of Thrones that
All
looks
right.
like that.
All right, who do we got next? Fulgrim, Primarch of the Emperor's Children.
Shit. What's the name of the guy who mocaps Gollum?
Andy Serkis?
I'd give him a little bit of an Andy Serkis vibe.
A little bit, yeah.
But the chin
yeah.
is too jutting.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the rest of it.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Otherwise, no one. It didn't. Once again, absolutely stunning artwork.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Does it blow your mind as much as it does mine that people can draw this shit? Like,
Yes.
because I just don't understand at all how to do that. Like, I'm just absolutely horrible at it.
Yeah.
And I don't even try anymore because why the fuck would I?
Yeah, I still try occasionally, and I do like passable artwork, but I never include colors or anything in it.
Your artwork is like good early 2000s Newgrounds artwork.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is what it reminds me of.
Like low end Newgrounds artwork. Like
No, I wouldn't say low end. I'd say at least mid tier, if not better.
yeah, because I mean, there's been some amazing artwork on Newgrounds before.
Well, but you know the kind of
I
talking
I
about
do know
where
the
it's
kind.
like
Yeah.
the edgy character with the hair and
Yeah.
you have a style and it's very much that style, and
Yeah.
it probably was inspired by that style.
Oh yeah, because I spent
But-
how much of the early 2000s looking at that shit before?
Oh man, we should have spent even more of our time looking
Yeah.
at that.
All right, so we'll give this a half Andy Serkis if Andy Serkis had a much
Half.
more chiseled jawline.
Yeah, if Andy Serkis was even cooler than he already is,
Which is already fucking
which is
cool.
hard to do.
Yeah. All right.
He played a fucking chimp, and so
Yeah.
he's god tier
Yep.
in my book.
Pretty much. All right. Next is Perturabo, Primarch of the Iron
He
Warriors.
definitely looks like someone, but I don't know.
I-
I cannot think of who.
Like, I feel like I know it's literally just the hair, which canonically Perturabo does not have hair. That's one of the creative liberties this guy took. But the hair just makes me think Nazi. Someone who played a Nazi is.
Well,
who
it's
this
because
might
it's
be.
combed over.
Yeah.
That's why you think that.
But like, no, I saw this and I briefly thought like the guy who played the Nazi bad guy in fucking Inglorious Bastards.
He doesn't look like him at all.
Yeah.
The blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fucking
I meant like the
skinny.
I think it's literally just the expression on his face that made me think.
it
that,
might
'cause-
just be the eyes.
Yeah.
Because even though they're different colors, that man has very intense eyes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll give you that little bit, but otherwise, he definitely looks like someone. But I cannot think of the actor.
Yeah.
And it might just be some dude I saw one time in a movie.
Yeah.
And that's what he's reminded me of because I don't know, it's fog.
Yeah.
But-
Once
Once again,
Yeah, you're starting to get about where I was when I was looking through these. Like, I know this face. I can't think of the face. All right, next. Jagatai Khan, Primarch of the White Scars. And this one I actually think I know. I'm pretty sure this is just Chow Yun-Fat from the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie. If you remembered watching that one. He played, well, the Sao Feng, the Pirate Lord of Singapore.
I feel like I can't even say anything with this one without being racist. Because I feel like if I say anyone, it'll just be like, oh, you just named an Asian guy.
Well,
But
I mean, that's I
With
had
his-
that same thought, but like I don't know, like
with his hairstyle and stuff,
yeah,
I don't
and the
know. Let me
the fucking the Fu Manchu mustache. All right, where are you? Like, yeah, come on. Why do you give me low quality pictures?
Yeah, no, this was definitely just me being racist and not. Because I was like, oh, he kind of looks like the guy from the Wheel of Time TV show. He
Oh.
doesn't.
No, like
He doesn't at all.
yeah, like you see where I'm kind of coming from with this one though. Like he doesn't have the top
Yeah.
knot or anything, but I'm like I can almost. That's very Chow Yun-Fat esque from the Pirates movie.
If he had a top knot,
Yeah, and,
that would yeah. No, I see it.
yeah. Of course, the
I was racist. You weren't.
yeah the one I was actually sure about was the one that probably brought me the closest to being a racist. All right, next, Lehman Russ, Primarch of the Space
I mean,
Wolves.
that's just any of the Hemsworths.
You know what? Now that you say that, yeah,
That's
kind of
easy.
fair. Yeah,
That looks a lot like Chris Hemsworth.
yeah. Now that
Just like a older, grizzled version
Yeah.
of him.
I'm surprised I didn't come to that
With
conclusion
the
myself.
big blue eyes and the long blonde hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an easy one.
All right. Rogal Dorn, Primarch of the Imperial Fists. And are you going to say Abraham from Walking Dead? Because that's what I got from this one. The guy who got his head beat in by Negan?
No, I wasn't going to say Abraham. However, I kind of see that.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if it's just shading or it's supposed to be like vague facial hair, but I do remember Abraham having like that kind of horseshoe mustache thing going on.
He had the horseshoe mustache.
Yeah.
However, Lincoln, quit scratching. I actually get an entirely different body type, boy type of vibe
Yeah.
from him. Yeah, and it's probably mostly because of his hair. Let me find the guy.
I mean, with that hair, he could be a grizzled Simon Pegg. You know what I'm saying?
This is Dean Winters. I see a little bit with the big forehead
Yeah.
and the hair choned up, and his in the picture that's definitely a wider jaw.
Yeah.
And everything, but with the hair and the big forehead and the way his eyes are, I think he
I can see
fits
some,
that
some
a
Dean
little
Winters.
bit.
Yeah.
But I also see some Abraham in there.
Yeah. Like,
But I don't think he has. He doesn't. First off, with the Abraham thing, he does not have the handlebar that Abraham has.
No.
Because Abraham's is one of the strongest handlebars that a boy could ever see.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he had his head. Yeah,
The shape of the
but
head.
he has.
Yeah.
The way in the picture his hair seems to be moving back.
Yeah.
As opposed to where Abraham's, it's more of that
Flat top kind of thing.
flat top military.
Yeah, but like the eyes and the forehead definitely does
Yeah,
not have the
still-
same nose though. Definitely
No,
Abraham has a much wider
and-
nose.
Yeah, you're probably closer than I am with Dean Winters, but
Yeah.
that was just the first thing I thought of.
Yeah,
with
that's
the,
fair.
With the big forehead and the high hair.
Yeah, and the nice thing about drawing from reference, which I'm pretty sure this guy did, is that he makes it hard because he's obviously not doing an exact like 1-to-1 copy of anything.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about reference. Like, if people don't understand drawing from reference, essentially, like, if I wanted to draw a picture of like a guy in a certain pose, I might ask you to like sit in that pose, and then I would do things like, okay, like the nose looks like this from this angle, the shadows are like this because the light's hitting it from this angle, and it wouldn't be an exact copy.
Or
but-
you're just looking at a picture
Yeah.
and kind of doing it, but drawing from memory.
That's
I
fine.
I like that better.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like it's kind of like the Walking Dead TV show.
Yeah.
Since it's brought up, it's almost like, okay, so this is basically how it went, and stuff is gonna change, and I love that because stuff changes a bit,
Yeah.
and that's fantastic because then even if you've read the original source material, it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
And so same thing with drawing. Even if you've seen the official artwork, somebody doing something like this is fucking dope as hell.
Yeah, it
because
is.
it's just like, oh, this is a cool version of it.
Yeah. Right, next is Conrad Curse, Primarch of the Night Lords. So, I wanted to say Brad Dourif, but Brad Dourif is just one of those actors that if you put enough makeup on him, he will look like anything. So that doesn't really count.
There's definitely an actress I'm thinking of,
Yeah?
but I cannot remember her name.
Also, literally just because of the
again-
hair and the set of the mouth, I thought Nathan Explosion from Metalocalypse.
Yeah, if it started doing meth, that was going to be my next sentence. Was also anyone on meth, like
Yeah.
anyone who grew their hair out and also they're on meth. So Nathan Explosion on meth.
Yeah.
I cannot remember. There is definitely a woman actress. Well, there's an actress.
Yes.
Who looks like that, and I cannot think of it.
Is
Is this a man?
Yeah, all of
character?
these are men.
I was gonna say
I was pretty sure it was. But
Yeah, all the Primarchs are men.
This is Conrad Kurz.
Kurz, yes. Everyone pronounces it Conrad Curse because Kurz is just. Thank you, 80s.
Whatever, your name is
Yeah.
stupid. Shut up. So Nathan Explosion on meth.
Yeah.
So we got that.
Yeah, that was easy. Sanguinius, Primarch of the Blood Angels.
The guy who plays Superman.
Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Just give him long blonde hair instead of long silver hair when
Yeah.
he's playing Geralt. And definitely Henry Cavill.
I can dig it.
Like, is there anyone else he looks more like?
Like, weirdly enough, just because of the facial expression.
Yeah, Danny DeVito, but we weren't
Well,
going
I was going
there.
to say Andy Samberg, but I don't know. He just has it's an Andy Samberg facial expression, not necessarily an Andy Samberg face. Except maybe the nose. Maybe the nose is a bit Andy Samberg-ish, but I think
no,
you're...
Andy Samberg's nose is way bigger.
Okay, yeah. Other than that, though, I think the more I look at it, the more you are right on the money with Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that's Henry Cavill, whatever.
Ferrus Manus, Primarch of the Iron Hands.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, that's clearly you, Widow's Peak and all.
But who the fuck? I have a widow's peak.
Yeah, no,
Who the
I
fuck took a picture of me and this guy traced it?
I actually just sent.
He's even in my suit.
Yeah,
What?
no, your work attire. I actually just sent a picture of you to this guy a couple weeks back and asked him
What
to
the fuck,
make you
dude?
into a Primarch. I thought you need it's
No, I don't- you know
late
I
birthday
don't like
present.
it.
Come
No,
on, man.
Fuck you. He looks a little bit like Bob the Zombie from Day of the Dead, I guess. Otherwise, I don't know what else he looks like.
Yeah, I mean there's
There's a, I mean,
yeah.
let me pull it up. That's the only vibe he's giving me is
Yeah.
Bob the Zombie. He looks like a zombie. Does he not?
He kind of does.
With the white eyes and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, if it's the zombie I'm thinking about, I'm probably going to agree with you.
I think he has the same. I think Bob has the same haircut. What the fuck is all this shit? No, Bob has a way dumber haircut. What is all this shit? I look at Bob the Zombie. That's the only picture I can find of him. Everything else is like Minecraft. It's all Minecraft and Among Us and random. The fuck? Show me Bob. Who is this man? Because he keeps showing up. I don't know who the fuck he is.
I did see Bob Ross in there, which I appreciate.
Yeah, they're
but,
doing Bob Ross.
But
zombie.
Ferrus Manus is very much not a Bob Ross looking kind of guy.
Alright, put Day of the Dead on there. Alright. He's even looking the same way.
Yeah, stupid haircut notwithstanding, like the way he's kind of got the sunken eyes gives a bit of a Bob vibe.
it's just general zombie that he just looks zombie-ish. He doesn't look like Bob. Bob has a way less structured
Yeah.
jaw and everything. I don't know who he looks like.
Yeah. Angron, Primarch of the World Eaters. And I think I know this one.
His name is... Wait. What are you going to say?
I was going to say either a really angry Vinnie Jones or a really angry Bob Hoskins.
I think Bob Hoskins is who I was thinking of. The way the nose
Yeah.
goes up and... Yeah. At first, when you pulled it up, I was just like, that's just a monster. But
I mean, you're
so is Bob Hoskins. So.
fair. I mean, no matter which way you slice it, you're not far off the mark calling him a monster. So, but yeah, I think angry Bob Hoskins is that. I'm pretty sure.
You know, he looks a little bit like angry Walter White. A little bit. His
Yeah.
nose is a little fucked, but otherwise, the way his eyes are, and I've watched plenty of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I still need to watch that show.
You really do. It's very good.
Yeah, but yeah,
But-
so yeah, I can kind of see it if he had facial hair.
Get this man off my screen. I hate him.
Reboot Gilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines.
Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
You know, that would actually fit really, really well if that was
Yeah.
actually the truth.
Buzz Lightyear
Wait,
of Star Command.
Are we talking Tim Allen or are we talking Chris Evans here?
We're talking
You got a friend in me.
So, okay, Randy Newman. Got it.
You got a friend in me.
Oh, you've unleashed you unwittingly unleashed a beast. If you think any Toy Story songs are stopping tonight, what is the song when he's jumping towards the window and he realizes he can't fly and then he loses his arm? And
God,
it's
I don't fucking remember.
like a bird in the sky, I believe I can fly. I can fly. And then he puts his wings out and then he just falls and
yeah.
loses an arm.
I mean, if nothing else, he is wearing powered armor like Buzz Lightyear does, so that fits.
No, he still looks like someone. I just can't. He looks like some famous white blonde actor, but it's not the ones whose names I know.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. Because I'm bad with names.
Yeah.
But he does. I don't know. He's Buzz Lightyear.
All right, you
Of
know.
Starkman.
Yeah, we can call him Buzz Lightyear. That's fine. Mortarion, Primarch of the Death Guard, and this one comes with a fucking story. Because when I was looking through these, my wife walked up behind me and just glanced at the screen and said, "Is that Voldemort?"
No.
No.
This man has a nose.
Yeah. I was like, obviously not, hun. But honestly, like,
It kind of looks like this is his face, and then arms and legs. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
That's
yeah.
what I saw immediately.
But like,
What are those?
they're just
Part of
airflow
his
pipes.
armor.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah. If we're not diving into lore because you don't care about the lore.
This man doesn't care about anything.
Yeah.
And I don't
Like,
know.
nose notwithstanding, I could actually maybe it's just the skin tone, but I do kind of get where she was coming from with Voldemort,
bit
because
of-
I'm pretty sure he's made that exact same face at least once in the Harry Potter movies.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of that he looks close to is a little bit palpy.
There's a bit of a young Palp, maybe.
Well, yeah, and that's only kinda. So that's the only thing I get from this man.
Yeah, I mean, we could call it a
I
cross
feel
between.
like I could knock this man's teeth out and then force him to suck my dick. I could rape his mouth after I knocked his teeth. I feel like this man is weak.
Yeah.
I feel like he has nothing. Like in a one-on-one fight, take your armor off, bitch. I'd knock his teeth off and make him suck my dick.
This whole conversation is just funny to me, just because I know that his lead.
That's what happened to him in the
No,
lore?
no,
That would
actually.
be really cool. I would immediately start reading it if I found out it was that cool.
I mean, I feel like I should just give you any story involving Slaanesh, and you would just be on board with it. But no, this guy and his Space Marine Legion are renowned for being, like, hands down the absolute hardest people to fucking kill in, like, all of Warhammer 40k.
Oh, I'm not trying to kill him.
Oh, I know, you're just trying to face
I'm
fuck
gonna
him.
knock his teeth out
Yeah.
and then force him to suck my dick.
You're definitely a Slaanesh cultist.
No, I'm nothing. I'm just a man who should, and that's why it'll work, because it'll be like, who the fuck are you? Are you Slaanesh? Are you Warhammer 42? Are you,
Are you actually Slaanesh?
Are you Big Boy Jones? And I'll be like, no, I'm Evan. And then I'll knock his teeth out and throat fuck him.
Alright, so confirmed. Noodle is in fact the hidden sixth god of chaos.
And it's not even going to be a gay thing. Like, it's not that at all.
Yeah, it's more of a domination
It's
thing.
a domination
Yeah.
thing, 100%. And
Yeah, I
then
getcha.
I'm not going to kill him either. I'm going to
Yeah.
leave him alive. So he'll just have to live.
Is he
with
going to
that.
become a cultist of you?
Who's to say? Who's to say? Because I'm going to disappear in the night, and that is
Magnus the Red.
No, that is Lion-O from Thundercat.
He does have the hair. That is very true. No, that is Magnus the Red, Primarch of the Thousand Suns.
It was Lion-O immediately, and I get nothing else from that. It doesn't look like a person.
Like, honestly, if I feel... Maybe I'm just too far into the rabbit hole, but if his eye was, like, a little bit smaller, I do kind of get a little bit of Nicolas Cage from him. But his eye is too big. But like the rest of his face kind of has a I feel like it has a bit of Cage going on. Like
I
Kind
would
of.
trust me, Andy. I would love to agree with you on
Yeah.
this, but I just don't. I feel like Nicolas Cage, especially with us. Yeah, go ahead and pull up.
that's-
Maybe if you pull up a picture and put it beside him.
But
But-
I am straight up admitting to being too far down the Nicolas Cage rabbit hole for this, and I just see the Dark
we
Lord
both
Cage everywhere.
But and so that's. I'm kind of surprised that I don't see the same Cage you see, because normally I would.
Can I just get a picture of him not smiling? That'd be great. Here's a not smiling picture of Nick.
All right.
Like the eyes obviously don't.
I'll
match.
give you like a 25%
Yeah.
because of the nose and jaws.
Yeah,
and-
it's the general shape of the face. Like the nose is a little bit too thin. The eye is obviously too big, but like the chin and like the kind of shape of the
Yeah.
cheekbones, and I don't know, maybe it's just
Give it to
accentuated
you a little bit.
Yeah, I think the whole thing's being accentuated by his headpiece. That makes him look a little bit more angular than he probably actually
You
is.
get a little bit of an agreement.
Yeah.
From me, but only a little bit, and you best watch yourself.
Okay, I'll take what I can get. Horus, Primarch of the Sons of Horus, formerly known as the Luna Wolves. This guy really reminds me of, I can't remember his character's name, but he's like the most famous detective from fucking Law and Order. I'm just gonna Google it. Fuck it.
Look it up.
Yeah. But no, this is another one where I had like a gut reaction of like, I know that fucking face. If I could actually type on my new phone. Yeah, this guy, Detective Stabler.
I thought that's who you were gonna pull up, and
The nose isn't quite
I
right,
disagree.
but yeah, the nose obviously isn't right, but
he's also in Oz.
is he?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a bit of a gay man.
Oh.
In Oz.
Well, I mean,
he's gay because he's in jail. I don't know if he's full on gay, but
but you get what I'm saying? Is this is a face we know from somewhere, and I know it is.
it does. I feel like it's just drawn to look like a face that's, you know, where people are like, oh, you have a familiar face.
Yeah.
Like, I think that just kind of is what it is. But I also am, I'm 50-50. I'm 50%
Yeah.
on that side and 50% on, like, I've seen a motherfucker who looks like this.
Yeah. Lorgar, Primarch of the Word Bearers. And this is another face I know I've seen somewhere before.
Oh.
Minus all the tattoos.
I know exactly who this guy is. Hold on.
Also, hashtag blame Lorgar. Almost literally everything bad that happens in Warhammer 40k is this motherfucker's fault.
Do okay. How was he? I just gotta. I know he was in this movie. But
Popping and cracking like the old man that I am.
man, walking to work and back. I'm waiting for shit to load so that I can
Yeah.
fucking see. Walking to work and back in this extreme cold.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
Well, it pretty much never bothered me before. Like, obviously, it wasn't ideal,
Yeah.
but, you know, it was. I mean, I walked to work the other day in -5, and that's fine. Like, I can do that.
Yeah, the cold never bothered you
I've-
anyway.
This is who he is. Found him. Good man. God. I'm so glad I pay for you, internet.
Rob Riggle.
Holy shit, you're right.
Yeah.
God damn.
100%.
Okay. Yeah, agreed. Approved.
Like, oh, almost exactly. Like, as soon as I saw him, it's like, oh yeah, that was modeled after him.
Yeah.
How many more do we got?
I think only 2 left. Nope. No, well, we got Shaquille O'Neal first, clearly.
Yeah, Thanos, Shaquille O'Neal. If Thanos and Shaquille O'Neal both fucked the Silver Surfer at the same time and they're combined and impregnated the Silver Surfer, and then the Silver Surfer got raped by Galactus, this would be his son?
Yeah, sure, that works.
Yeah, the Silver Surfer would give birth.
Yeah. Corvus Corax, Primarch of the Raven Guard. Oh, and by the way, that was Vulcan of the Salamanders, just in case anyone was curious.
Salamanders. Lame ass name. Salamanders suck. I mean, they're cool.
Yeah.
Like, they aren't dangerous or anything.
I will tell you some stories after
Unless
we're
you
done.
eat a salamander, they aren't gonna hurt you.
Yeah. Anyway, Corax of the Raven Guard.
Well, he looks like the bad guy from Rings of Power.
Adar?
Yeah. Doesn't he? He looks almost exactly like
Yeah, I mean, minus the facial scarring, but yeah, actually, that does look like Adar. And I'm pretty or rather, Adar looks like him because this was in 2018, so this predates
Yeah.
Adar. So, good
Either-
reference, Rings of
either
Power.
way.
Yeah.
You-
Okay, yeah, we're on the last two, Alfarius and Omegon of the Alpha Legion. And these guys...
The
they're
first
twins.
one almost looks a little bit like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
A little bit. His jaw is much more sharp,
Yeah.
but still.
yeah.
And that one just looks like a freak. I don't know what that one's supposed to be.
I mean, this is another one of those, like, actors with very distinct face, but I can't place a name to. But the
I'm still riding off the high of how much Rob Riggle looked exactly
Like
like that.
Lorgar.
He looked exactly. It's exactly him.
these two, like, lore-wise, are the ones we could get away with saying that they look like anybody because that's what they're literally
Plenty
supposed
of people
to do.
could, put on a pointed chin and
Yeah.
wear scars and look like that.
Yeah, specifically Omegon looks like someone I feel like was in like an 80s Sylvester Stallone movie or something like that. I can't fucking remember.
It's because of the cheekbones.
Yeah.
That like I feel like people in the 80s had way more prominent cheekbones.
Well, there was also a lot more
lot
rampant
of them.
drug use back then.
Very well. No. The cheekbones don't have to do with drugs.
No.
Some people just have very prominent cheekbones, and I
Yeah.
felt like that happened a lot more back in the 80s. It was either you get a slim face with big old cheekbones, or you're just a fucking bulldog who fucking
Yeah.
has a big and now
Yeah, this
we're
guy.
pussies who rank drawing.
Yeah.
Now don't even rank. Just be like, does this look like someone?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, but specifically, he looks like an 80s action movie villain.
he does.
I just can't think of who it is.
Go back to the other one. That guy looks way more scary.
Yeah.
But I feel like he wouldn't be the scarier one in the movie. Like if they came at the heroes as a group, as two of them, he'd be the one that like got accidentally killed somehow.
Yeah, he'd be the bigger one that you'd think would be the more dangerous, and then gets killed off, and then it's only then that the hero realizes that the other smaller one is actually way more fucking dangerous.
Exactly. 100% that.
Yeah. Well, these
Either way, man, this guy who drew these,
is fucking amazing.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's tons of incredible art, but the shading on that with the shadows, and not this one specifically, on
Yeah.
all of them, is I mean, this one as well, is insane.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, I cannot even imagine being able to draw something like that. That's insane that you can put that amount of detail into something.
Yeah, and without
Right.
even using like the thin lined brushes. Like this was all wide, like, well, most of it was all wide, soft brushes, and just going like layers over layers and positioning them just fucking perfectly. It's
But then, like everybody, I guess everybody has some sort of skill, and this guy's skill is over the moon.
yeah,
And my skill, I guess my skills do apply in real life in that I'm a physical boy, good with my hands.
Yeah.
But this is a million times more impressive because how many physical boys who are good with their hands are there? A shitload more than people who can draw like this.
yup.
So, to Mungar
Miguel Iglesias.
Yagingler? No, Miguel.
Miguel Iglesias, thank
Yeah.
you for putting your art online so we can look at it on a podcast.
Yeah, you're fantastic.
Yeah, this blew my fucking mind when I found these.
For whatever reason, ever hear this and listen to this,
You are a god among men.
yeah, we are absolutely blown away by your artwork.
Yep.
And it's incredible, and keep going, man.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he still is making stuff. So, yeah. Well, that was good. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. So, thank you for watching/listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
When I pee on you.
Oh God.